Well, earlier this week, of course, we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Many activities were held to remember and honor his legacy, but also as a call to action. Next month, we are launching a special series of interviews as we join together for Black History Month. And this morning, we want to welcome Reverend Vincent Dial to continue that conversation here on our show. Always great to have you on the show.
It's good to be here, Amy. Thank you.
Well, certainly an important week and launching into what's going to be a very important month. And you and I were talking about really just what an exciting time this is to see communities coming together.
Yes, it is. Even from the time of its inception back in 1926 with Dr. Carter G. Woodson, it was Negro Education Week. And then as the decades passed, then in 1976, I think President Gerald Ford actually signed it into action that this would be, February would be recognized as Black History Month. But 28 days, but I think we've outgrown the 28 days. And we need to see how we can better incorporate what we do in those 28 days to 365 days so that it's year round.
And we saw that a lot happening on Monday. A lot of organizations were saying, yes, let's honor, let's remember and reflect, but let's do what he said. Let's continue with our calls to action, our community food drive, our reaching out to our neighbors.
That's very true. As a matter of fact, what Dr. King, when he on that August day in 1963, they call it the speech, but I call it a sermon, because he is, first and foremost, he was a Baptist, ordained Baptist minister, pastor. And so what he spoke on that day, a lot of those things are coming to fruition right now. We can see them actually happening, but we can't stop now. We got to keep moving forward. Yes.
You said everything has to be intentional.
Yes, it has to be intentional. You can't force anything. When it comes to people interacting with each other, I think it has to be something that grows gradually, then eventually when it's birthed, and then we'll see the fruit of the efforts of many people, many civil rights workers who have gone on before us now coming to be a reality. And we say, well, one day, we won't have to have a special month for this group or this group. But one day we all will come together, as Dr. King said, and say, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. So it's an exciting time, but we hope it can be a time that's ongoing, not only for the 28 days, but the 365 that we live. We call it a year.
So, Reverend, how do we, as we get ready to launch this month coming up next month, for educators out there, for communities out there, how do we really take advantage of this opportunity?
Well, any opportunities that people have to attend workshops, educational workshops, political workshops, what's going on, how does Black History Month, how does it impact our political scene, how does it impact what people are doing in schools, teachers are doing in classrooms. So there's, you have to have a drive, you have to want to do it in order for it to get done.
And so as this month kicks off, the communities, it seems like, really doing what they can to offer those things. Up to us to take advantage and take that step. That's
exactly right. There are a lot of offerings out there, events that are going to be going on, not only during February, but beyond February. Take advantage of those events. Go see, ask questions, get involved in the conversations.
So in our communities, how do you rate sort of where we are? How do you think we're doing when it comes to unity and when it comes to being proactive?
I think Johnson City is kind of a very unique area. It's kind of like a jewel in Northeast Tennessee as the interaction between communities, people of various ethnic backgrounds. We've come a long way, but we still have much work to do, So I enjoy living here. My family enjoy living here. We enjoy living here. Let me say it that way.
But lots of opportunities as we look forward to the month of February. And I know you guys, your community, the church communities, really coming together to make sure that we honor this month in an appropriate way, in a good way.
That's the whole idea. And that you have to ask yourself, why do we have Black History Month anyway? To bring the history of a people to the forefront, a history that at one time had been erased, and now it's coming back, it's being revived, it's getting a new breath of life, and so that people will know that people of color like myself, we also made many contributions to the growth of this place we call the United States of America.
And it's great to see our kids I mean, they're just, you know, together, and like you said, so many things happening in our school systems.
Exactly right. And our children probably are the one who will get it right before we get it right. So God bless them, and parents continue to encourage them, engage them, have conversations with them.
Well, we certainly appreciate our conversation with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy, for having me.
And look for continued conversations that we're going to have all throughout the month of February right here on Daytime Tri-Cities.